You know what's kind of surprising, bro?
What's up, buddy?
How expensive the economy is right now.
Maxman. Inflation, bro.
Inflation?
Inflation.
Is that when you put a pump in a ball and blow it up?
Yep, you inflate it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
What happens when it deflates then? The economy, that is.
It's not inflation.
It's flat.
Yeah.
Like the earth.
Yeah.
Why did you have so much hesitation on that? It's true.
Do you think the earth is flat?
Earth is flat.
Prove it.
Okay. You see this table?
Yeah.
How many things can you fit on this table?
A lot of things.
Right. What about underneath of it?
It's not.
You could fit a whole bunch of stuff underneath of it.
It's just gonna fall off though. Like, it's not. It has nowhere to sit on top. You know, it's just gonna fall straight to the ground.
That's what glue's for. Super glue.
Bro, you're so smart, bro.
You're so smart, bro. No, but the economy is ass right now.
Yeah.
You would agree?
I would agree.
Would you say that the cost, the amount of money that it cost for you to go to college was worth it?
Like personally, I would say no. It was not worth it because I feel like a lot of the stuff that I learned in college, I could have just, YouTube that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have majors that don't really require a license.
Yeah.
Of any sort.
Really. No, not really. Literally, like our majors is like you just need a diploma to go into the jobs that we would like to.
Bro, you barely even need that.
Yeah.
You barely even need that. There's self-taught graphic designer and web designers who've gotten like really good jobs.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not one of them.
Right. Yeah.
So, but that brings us to a very interesting conversation piece about college versus a real job and your expectations, right?
Yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the latest episode of the LeisureHub Podcast. We are your fancy, handsome folks who are hosts.
Folks who are hosts.
Folks that are hosts, Justin.
Not hosts.
And
Pedro. Glad to be back, baby.
We've been on a 2-week hiatus because Pedro has been at a P. Diddy party.
Bro.
Too soon?
Too soon, bro.
Soon.
They're gonna be at my house.
Yeah, bro,
the SWAT team.
Honestly, I don't know what I'd do if your name was on that list.
I wouldn't do anything.
I'd be like, bro, are you okay?
I'm like, what time, bro?
He had bottles.
I would be surprised if my name wasn't on that list. I'd be like, wow.
I never saw any money.
I know.
And then apparently he had a whole bunch of baby oil in his fridge.
Did he?
Are you saying did he or did he?
You like that?
Yeah,
you
I like that.
that?
I like that. But on to more pressing matters. Nobody cares about Diddy. Everybody cares about the LeisureHub Podcast.
And what we're going to talk about.
What we're talking about, specifically colleges versus jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pedro and I were kind of just talking about that a little bit before we came in hot or oily, slippery. We slipped into it.
Did he?
No, the Diddy.
I thought we forgot about Diddy, bro.
I thought we did, but we brought him back. That's just how my brain works.
All right.
But essentially, like, I've heard numerous questions or like people being asked, the amount of money that you paid for to go to college, was it justified? And I mean, you just said for you wasn't justified at all.
No.
At least for the amount. And I guess partially, and for myself, I would say it definitely wasn't.
Yeah. But I also think is those kind of things where it's like, excuse me, dude, that was gross.
Don't.
No, I should not.
I'm trying to control.
Stop.
I'm trying to have patience with you.
Stop. But anyways, like, when you take out a loan, right? This has happened to me at least like twice in my lifetime.
How many loans
you take out a loan, right? You take out a loan, and like you instantly regret that shit like the second day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you just want to get it. Like, you just want to, I'll make the payments on it. You know what I mean? Nah, I just want it, and you make the payments on it. And then like the first day you're like, it's still dying down. But that second day, it's like
reality hits.
Bro, like I have to pay this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I had to pay this shit back.
Yeah, so that kind of hit me with
college
like
isn't free.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it kind of hit me with that college loan in a way.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't want to be that person that's like, yeah, I don't want to pay it back. Like you have to pay that shit back, you know?
Yeah.
But luckily for us it's a whole different.
The weird thing is, you know, colleges take advantage of students who are 17, 18.
Yeah.
And most of those,
like the military.
Yeah. Like that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that instead.
Okay.
No. But like colleges take advantage. They prey on that because most kids don't know what they're signing up for. They just figure I'm going to go to school for more education, and I know it costs money, but I can pay it back. Or like my parents will help pay. It's very rare for a lot of parents to have money saved up, like enough money to pay for someone's college, right? Like, and that's not including if you have multiple children. You know, like I'm just being upfront. My degree was about $50,000. Yeah. Right. Which, side note, I had a friend who went to Shippensburg. And they went, I don't remember what degree they ended up getting, but their degree ended up being like 25K total. Like at the end.
Ship. Okay.
To ship, yeah. And that was a bigger school than what you and I went to. We paid double that for a smaller school.
Holy crap.
Which doesn't make any sense. But again, we've mentioned on numerous occasions that our school has been shut down. And regardless of who supports this and who doesn't support it, I understand giving out free money. There's no such thing as giving out free money. It impacts not just like a few people down the street, but it affects the entire economy when trillions of dollars are being given out to forgive student loans. I understand that. But I don't know. I don't care. I got half my loan paid.
Yeah, we got gypped.
Yeah.
We definitely got gypped.
We got gypped on going to school, so kind of being rectified for then again you say, well, that's your fault for picking a shitty school well
no, this was all like on the low. They were like mad shady about it. Like there was no way we would know.
No, but to be fair, all colleges do shady garbage. All colleges, and like I said, they prey on young kids. Especially like if your family never really went to college, you don't really know what to expect. College back then, when our parents were going through it, and I say our parents, I don't really mean ours. My parents, I don't think my dad. I think started going to college, but he never finished. My mom never went to college. So like what I was going to say earlier was like the weird thing about college is like when you're graduating high school, all of your teachers and everyone's like, what college are you going for? What career did you kind of like, or what career path did you want to select? Did you really think about it? Well, you got some time, or time's running out. You got to pick your degree, or you got to pick where you're going. You got to pick
push it hard.
Yeah, and then, but no one really talks about, hey, college is kind of a life. It's a long commitment. It's not just the amount of years that you're spending in school, but it's the amount of money that you're going to end up having to pay back over a course of 10 to 20 years. Right. And some people pay it even longer than that, depending on your degree.
I think Chris Wagenseller, remember?
Yeah.
He was our English professor in college. Yeah. He was still paying his student loans while we were in college.
Probably in his late 30s, if not early 40s. Yeah.
So yeah, it is a long-term commitment. Yeah.
Which is like I think like not enough people really talk about that. Yeah. Because I know I didn't really have that conversation with my parents. Like they didn't really talk to me about that, which I guess you could say like it's kind of it's not really about pointing fingers like whose fault it is really. Yeah. Because if you go to other countries, going to school and other college specifically in other countries, it's not as expensive. And yes, there's a whole bunch of politics that go along with that and stuff like that. And I don't really know all of that, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. But all I do know is that it is cheaper to go to certain schools in different countries and get better education.
And you know what, going off of that, you know what's kind of messed up? So, like I've heard a lot of these stories from people who have gotten their degrees in other countries and like in their own country, and then they try to come to the United States to build a better life.
Sure.
Because that's a dream, quote unquote. But then they come here and then they find out that the license that they got in their own country.
Racist?
No.
Sorry. I mean, that's
But they find out that the license that they got in their own country is not valid here. So they kind of have to. I'm not really sure what.
Are you talking about like practices, like a
doctor or a lawyer or stuff like that?
You don't need a license to be a lawyer.
Yeah, man. Just like
I'm a lawyer right now. I can give you the best legal advice.
Yep.
Go steal stuff. Don't actually do that. Don't actually do that.
But yeah, so and then it's kind of sad. Like imagine you going to school, like
paying the money for it.
Yeah, like the time the late night studying and paying them. I mean, I feel like also colleges in other countries are less of an impact financially than it is here in the United States.
Oh, it is. Again, I don't know the details on this, and I don't know what hurdles you have to go through before and then also after. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm not pretending to know I'm not pretending to know this information. Yeah. I'm just reciting kind of what I heard. But essentially in the UK, if you go to school, mm-hmm. again, I don't know any of the specifications, but if you mm-hmm. go to school in the UK, certain schools, the entry is a little difficult from what I've heard to get into some of those schools.
Is it like a waiting period?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, I got you.
So stop asking.
I
clearly just said.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My patience is not.
Is it?
What, yeah.
Is it? I think we should be done.
We should end the podcast, like we ended every single podcast. Anyway, so if you go to school, mm-hmm. UK, you go through however many years.
Yeah.
After a certain amount of time, after not paying your student loan, they just completely forgive it.
Okay.
Now, again, I have to reiterate, I don't know what specifics come along with that. I don't know like the intricacies behind that.
Yeah.
But I do know that in other countries, education is
more accessible.
Accessible. I almost said it how you said it. Accessible. Say it with me. Accessible.
Accessible.
No, accessible.
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 No.
Accessible.
There you go. Accessible.
I like it. Accessible.
Accessible. So it's more accessible in other countries, but also how college is treated here in the U.S. It's treated like a business.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't really care about the education. I mean, I'm sure some professors care about the education. Mm-hmm. But the colleges, if you look at it, it's mainly a business.
Yeah.
You buy the textbooks, you pay the tuition, you got to get the loan. Like
you're investing
in not only your education, but a lot of these colleges are making sure that they can. It's an ROI. Mm-hmm. It's a return on investment.
Yeah.
If I charge these students $100,000 for their degree and to come to my school, and for a good education in air quotes, we're gonna get that money back. Like colleges are so expensive. The amount of money that they make every single year for new applicants is nuts. Yeah. There is like it's crazy. Like if you think you're getting like just from our standpoint for going to a smaller school, if you think about that, $50,000 just for two of us, it's already $100,000.
Yeah.
Now, and that's not to really say like, you know, how much it costs for upkeep and buying books and the teachers and stuff like that. But when you have 300 students and then this is times 50,000
each
by 300,000, that's just
you gonna do that now?
for fun, for shits and giggles.
Okay, so 50,000 times 300.
Times 300.
Okay. How much is that?
You want to know, bro?
Yeah. Is this per year?
It's $15 million
per year. No, I would say $15 million. That's still
$15 million.
A lot of money.
That's from 300.
Yeah.
And that's just like our school was probably not even 300. But, you know, you go to a bigger school like Notre Dame or that's the only school I know. Harvard.
No. The only school, bro?
The only school I know. No. You go to Harvard, Princeton, you go to, I mean, those are prestigious schools, sure. But any of the schools, and you just assume like you're spending $100,000. I know for some of the prestigious schools, you're paying way more than that, obviously. But let's assume that, like, for one person, it's 100,000. You multiply that by X amount of people, it's a shit ton of money.
And there's more people.
And there's a lot
more
of people.
Than 300 people.
A lot of people. So you figure, like, the cost of education, it's like, I mean, you're paying for the faculty, and you're paying for the textbooks. Exclude all the extracurricular things like football. I mean, I guess you have to pay for like football equipment and all that stuff, right? All sporting equipment, different curriculums.
Yeah, but they get so much bread off of that, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially like, you know, Penn State.
Yeah, they get so much bread. Like we got games on that.
Yeah,
like they get so much money on that. And I've heard people saying that it's like, why don't you use that to, you know,
better the education?
Yeah, and instead of people paying, you know, for I guess let's say to remodel a certain hall or something like that, like why don't you use that money to do shit like that?
Oh well, we would, but it's that kind of thing. That's like if you look at the majority of colleges in the U.S., it's weird. It's like they're more of like a bank for education.
Yeah,
and once you're done at the bank, or actually better yet, I'll use it like a car. You know, let's say you're buying a Lamborghini.
Yep.
Obviously, you and I can't afford a Lamborghini, right?
Yeah, right.
Any I can't afford a Lamborghini. No, but you know, you and I can't afford a Lamborghini. At 17, do you think any bank would loan us $100,000 or $150,000 to buy a Lamborghini?
Yeah, they
wouldn't. But you know who would? A college campus would. They want that money.
Yeah,
because they're going to get it back. And you throw on the interest on top of that. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
that's like you're through the roof.
They get bread.
Just for perspective, again, this is also coming from someone who didn't really know what they were doing, which is not just me and not just us, but there are plenty of other students or people who went to college who didn't really know what they were doing either. So it's like you can easily
it's like part of the culture.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go to college.
Yeah,
it's like okay. Some people do their research, and for those people, you did a good job. You did a good thing. So you can't shame people who don't, because it's a lot more people than you think that don't do research on. They do research on where to go and where has a good education, but they don't do the research on like loans and the interest. Like, what 17-year-old kid knows that? Like, I guarantee I didn't care about any of that shit. Like, I just wanted to. I didn't really even want to go to college. I was just like, I guess that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I just
and that's what I say about culture. You know, like you see your friends talking about college, like high schools are pushing it hard. Like you feel like, oh, wait a minute, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's kind of how you feel. Like it's so much pressure. It's like so much pressure. Like even your parents just like, bro, at least go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like times are changing though.
It's like, do something with your life. Go to college.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you? First off. What? No. I was just like replying to that.
Oh yeah.
Hypothetical interaction between a parent and their child.
Yeah, but I feel like that's changing though, because like
it is.
I see a lot of people. It's like more, I guess, accepting of like, bro, you don't have to go to college. I mean,
it's more of Gen Z that's more like that though.
Yeah, and
they're like,
I see that as a good thing.
Yeah, they're not being suckered into like we did.
Unless it's like, I don't know. I feel like college is more for like law and like doctors.
Yeah.
And, you know. Yeah. But if they like, for example, graphic design, I'm talking about myself here. Like I feel like I have authority over this.
You really don't.
Yeah, I mean myself. You know, like.
Let me see the degree.
I don't have it.
Exactly.
So, like YouTube, believe it or not, YouTube serves like as a
90% of
what we've learned.
Yeah,
you know, and you can learn a lot of shit on YouTube. Even like trade stuff.
Yeah,
you know, you could just buy your tools and just learn everything on YouTube. like the YouTube University.
Yeah.
And I get some of the YouTube stuff is kind of sketchy sometimes, but the cool thing about YouTube is like you don't get one channel, bro. Like you have another channel that might teach it better. It's like different professors, you know, and in college you only get one professor, and if you don't like how he teaches, then that's it. That's what you get.
Yeah.
But in YouTube, at least you get to choose your professor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I don't like the way he teaches. I don't like the way she teaches. But you know, this person teaches it like in an easier way, and I can, you know, it's better for me to digest.
Yeah.
And then they're also getting paid because that's their YouTube channel.
Right.
And I guess it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And when it comes to education.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, college courses are one of the things where, like, you have an outdated curriculum sometimes, depending on your school. Like the textbooks are like outdated. Like some of the things that they teach is outdated. And then obviously you have like rapid technology changes.
That's
like,
big time.
Especially right now. Like I can tell you when I was in college, like a lot of like, first off, we were supposed to be learning how to also build a mobile app, like code a mobile app. We didn't learn anywhere near that. Like we didn't even touch that.
Which you would think.
Which you would think, but at the time when we were learning a lot of this stuff, like, you know, a lot of website builders were becoming a thing, you know, like Squarespace and Wix, and people like, I remember one question that we were asking our teachers is like, is web design / web development, is that still going to be a thing? Because, you know, you have these companies that are
they're taking advantage of the whole template. Like, I guess
they're making it convenient to build a website.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least from my background, it's not really that easy to build a website. But then not only do you have, you know, Squarespace and Wix, but you have page builders like Elementor or this thing called Divi. And it makes it easier for you to build your website. It's not a plug. I'm not promoting them at all, because as a web developer, I like them, but I don't. I love-hate relationship. But the point with me saying all of this stuff is that it's like the 4 years that you're in college, the curriculum, it may be relevant that day or that year, but like with how fast technology is moving, it's relevant that second, and it's not relevant anymore because like things move way too fast. Yeah. And to your point, like you can choose your professor. There's different, like, I guess I'll bring this up towards the end of the podcast. This is like maybe what you should look for, right? But there's different areas that you can go, like, with if you want to learn something, right? Yeah. Depending on your trade, of course. Like you can use a site called Skillshare. You can use a site called Udemy. You can use a
Academy.
What?
Udemy Academy?
Yeah. You can use YouTube. YouTube's free. Yeah. And there's tons of different like online courses to learn a whole bunch of different things. For our trades, we didn't really need to go to college. Yeah. Right. You know, if I knew that this is something that I was going to be doing, which how would I have known? Yeah. Because I was kind of thrown into this. I would have just learned it on my own. Right. Which, you know, takes drive and ambition and blah, blah, blah to do, which is, it's not easy to do, but you do save a lot of money. Looking back, like I guess my philosophy now is like sometimes, my advice that I would give to my nephew when he was still in high school was, I was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to college, or like what is your plan? He's like, oh, I mean, I don't really know. He's still kind of trying to figure it out. He went to CTC. He went for trade, so he can do it. The job will always be around, right? But I had said, if you're doing something that requires a legal license to do, like, you know, if you're a dentist or an orthodontist or a doctor or a lawyer or any type of physician, like anything that's in that like medical field realm, that or anything that requires a legal license, go to college. Yeah. If you aren't going into anything relating to those categories, and even like being an electrician and like a plumber, you need to get licensed for that. Like, so those things you would have to go to like a trade school, or you start in high school and you do the CTC program, and then you're pretty much fathered into.
You're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of people that just like that. All they have is CTC and they're successful.
They're set. Yeah. And so like I would say like if you're not going for anything in that spectrum, don't go to college. Waste of your money. And personally, that's
your opinion.
That's your
take.
Yeah.
But like you would think that like having YouTube and having all these resources, like not freely but less than actual college,
less, significantly.
You would
less.
think that it would be like the college killer. Like
it's not.
Oh, why are there killers? I mean, why are there killers on the loose? Why are there colleges? Like, why are colleges still around?
I have a simple answer for you.
What is it?
You finish so you don't forget.
All right. So, bro, I feel like they're definitely selling more of the experience of college.
There you go. Ding, ding,
you know what I mean?
Ding.
Than actually like education.
Yep.
Because you're a 17-year-old kid, and then bro,
just getting into drinking.
Yes.
Partying.
You know, and
social life.
And bro, when you think about like college, like that's all you think about. You know what I mean? Like that you're going into that social, you know, party life. You know, and then you might be going into college not for necessarily an education, but more for the experience. Which is, I don't blame them. You know, because it is fun. It's an experience.
It is fun,
but it's like,
is it worth the $100,000?
That's what I mean.
Though? Yeah,
that's what I mean. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that. You could also have that lifestyle without having to pay that amount of money. Yeah. But then again, when you go to an actual college, you're guaranteed to meet new people. Mm-hmm. You're guaranteed to be on your own, basically, like away from your parents for the first time.
Yeah.
And bro, they profit off for that big time.
Oh, 100%. They're really selling that, and that's, I guess that's the other point I didn't really like cover. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Yeah, they're not. They're selling the education, but like to your point, they're selling more of the experience and the social aspect of it than they are really the education.
But they don't say that.
Oh no. They would never sell it. Yeah. But that's why, like, you know, if you look at West Virginia or you look at Shippensburg, Penn State, not really. What's the other? But Shippensburg and West Virginia are two big party schools. Oh, Kutztown, Kutztown University. Big party schools. And I know I just named two of them were PA colleges, but because Penn State.
Yeah, but you imagine, like, if you know that many colleges, imagine in the whole country.
Yeah, like, I mean, those are primarily like party schools, like, and they're notorious for it.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of kids who pick going there. I mean, the education is, I'm sure it's better than what we got.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you know, what are the chances that you're picking that primarily because of the good education?
Yeah.
You're probably picking it because it's going to be a fun school to be at. Like, primarily.
The experience, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying. And, like, personally, I know a guy, I won't say his name, but I know a guy who went to Shippensburg and was there for maybe a couple years, and then he dropped out. But he was honest with it. He was really only there for the experience.
Wow.
He just wanted to
How long did he last?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
It's a good amount.
Yeah. But, and so he made a lot of connections, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing, right? It's like, you're not, like, a lot of kids at 17, a lot of, like, the average teenager is probably looking more for a fun, good time. And the one only other thing that I'll say about the college, like, colleges and, like, just the entry point for them is that a lot of these courses are being taught to you, right?
Yep.
But when you learn about them, or like when they tell you, like, oh, this is what you're learning in this course, it's not very hands-on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the things you're doing aren't hands-on, and two, they don't directly relate to a real world job.
Yes.
And every job is different.
And that's and you will never know until you get out of there, unless you have like an internship or something like that. But you know, you quickly realize that it's not. A lot of the time, it's not how they sell it to you.
No.
Yeah.
There's a saying, Coca-Cola. It's from a song. There's debate about whether Coca-Cola and Pepsi they're different. They don't taste the same. Mm-hmm. But for the sake of relating this, there's a song, and this guy is saying Coca-Cola and Pepsi are basically the same thing, but because of their branding, you have the illusion that they're two different products.
Yeah.
They've given you the illusion that they're different, and they sold you on that. And so, like, the idea is like, who's ever paying the other person the most will say whatever they need to say in order to differentiate the product. When they're both a cola, they both taste basically the same thing.
Like very similar.
Yeah. Again, I'm sure people would say that no, there's a difference. That's fine.
I like Coke better. Here we go.
I mean, I don't really care. I don't really drink soda that much
Pepsi's
anymore.
good,
but vanilla Coke, OG.
Yeah.
But have you? Side tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Oreo Coca-Cola flavor?
What? Is that good?
People
I feel like that could go either way.
People say they like it.
Is that new?
Yeah, it's recently new.
Oreo Coca-Cola flavor.
Yeah, they did a collab, and then they did a reverse collab. An Oreo cookie that tastes like Coke. And bro, it is weird.
What do you mean? Like, it tastes like Coke? It with the texture of a cookie or something like that? Like,
so it's in a cookie form.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the normal chocolatey Oreo. You have the filling.
Yeah.
And then you have a red Oreo. The red Oreo is the Coca-Cola.
Right.
You bite into it.
Yeah.
And at first, it's chocolatey. And then it hits you with Coke. And then it has like little, like the Pop Rocks candy?
Oh,
it's
for like the carbonated
like
feeling?
Yeah, and it's just popping in your mouth.
I want to try that.
Like, pop in your mouth.
Like that?
Exactly like that.
Bruh.
They're not bad. They get a 7.2 from me. 7.2.
Yeah.
It has a weird after. For me, it has a weird
aftertaste. Where'd you get it at?
They had them at my job. They brought them in because like they're the hot commodity right now. People are like, that's so weird. Like, you got to try it.
Okay.
They're literally in that voice. You got to try it. It's Coca-Cola.
No.
It's Oreos. You got to try it. Anyway. That's exactly what they do. But anyway, every job is different. Every job is different. Yeah. When you first went to GraphCom, if you had to compare the job versus your expectations from college, would you say they were the same?
So it was not the same.
Can you just
it was
yes
not,
or no?
It was not the same. It
yes
was not
or
the
no?
same.
Okay.
It was not the same. So it was a good experience. It was a very good experience. The environment with people, it was basically what I was expecting.
Yeah. But
literally all my teachers was like, you can't accept anything less than 25 an hour. Yeah. So it's like, when you get out of here, it's going to be 25 an hour. So, I have been a 20-year-old, almost out of college, 21.
Yeah.
You're expecting to get paid 25 an hour right from the beginning. You're like, wow, like I made it.
I'm making money.
I made it. And, and then when they tell you that you're going to get paid about 15,
you're like, wait,
but that's like $10. So I was actually okay with it just because I got my foot in the door. You know what I mean? It's like, but I did go back to my professor and I told him, hey, it's just a bummer that like I'm getting paid about 15 something.
Yeah.
I'm not really okay with that. And I was kind of ashamed because I know he was going to be like, you should not have accepted that.
Yeah.
You should have been like, I want 25.
Yeah.
But instead, my professor of 3 to 4 years that has been telling me to, don't accept anything less than 25.
Yeah.
He told me that's actually not bad. And that's when I felt it like, oh, nah, I got gypped.
Yeah.
You guys were motivating us the whole time and we're going to be getting paid this and that. And don't get me wrong, you might get paid like that maybe in some other places in other cities.
States, yeah.
But they waited 3 to 4 years to tell us that, 15 is what you're going to get. I'm like, bro, I could have gotten that. If you would have told me that, I would have just went a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, because you're trying to get a degree just so you could get a little bit more. But then again, all I wanted to get is my foot in the door, and I had a good experience. I actually had a better than expected, like, workplace experience.
Yeah,
but
which is hard to find.
Workplace experience, not working with like how clients wise, like how people, because when you're in college, you were allowed to do basically create your own things, right? Create your own artwork. Basically, you create your own project, quote unquote.
Right.
But so you're expecting to have a lot of creativity, like freedom.
Yeah.
And you don't get that.
No,
you don't get that.
No, you're led to believe that you can do certain things. And I guess maybe it's more about exercising your creative freedom to make your brain think outside of the box. But it leads you to believe that you're going to be doing things relating to that.
Yeah.
Because at least like for me, my experience, and it took me a couple of years that I actually like wanted to look for a job and then also found a job. But what I was doing then and versus now completely different.
Yeah.
Still website related, but like depending on the company that you're working for, they want you to do different things. Like at one point I was doing web stuff, and I was coding sites for like a survey scammy credit card company. And then and now I'm like I'm coding / designing a site for a company who like it's primarily just the site. So I'm creating pages, but it's like I guess I was under the impression that I would be creating and designing sites for other companies,
right?
Kind of like company to company,
right? Hey, yo, isn't that going crazy?
For other companies, like you know, when you kind of do freelancing, you do, you know, per person, per person, and that's kind of the illusion that I was like kind of thinking of. And also like I'm not coding much anymore. Like I said, I'm using like a drag and drop page builder with some code involved. And then also like in terms of like what I was taught in college versus what I kind of needed to know for this job is completely different. Like some like this company wants me to know SEO and Google Analytics, and I'm like, none of that stuff was even included in my curriculum at all.
Yeah.
So every job is different, and every job has a different guideline of what they expect from you, which kind of makes it hard to kind of like, it makes it hard.
Yeah.
Right. Because, you know, you just get out of college and they, you know, every job that you apply for is like, yeah, you don't have enough experience. Well, and again, this is, everybody's heard this phrase, but how can I have experience if you won't even give it to me?
Right.
Like I can't get a job. I can't have experience when I can't even get a job in my field.
Yeah.
So then it goes to a conversation that you and I have been talking about on the side. It's not about what you know, it's about the people you know. And that's as corny and as oversaid that statement is, it's so true. Because a lot of the jobs that people end up getting because they know like good jobs, they know somebody.
It's connections.
And the last thing I'll say in regards of every job is different, the skills that you actually need, the soft skills, always learned when you're at the job, never in college.
Elaborate. Like
social skills, like if you like social skills, like communicating, writing emails, stuff like that. Like were you writing like professional emails, well orchestrated emails, and sending them over to your professor? No, at least for me, at the most I was saying, not going to make it to this class.
Yeah, that's it.
Hi, so and so, not going to make it to this class. Send. Like that's pretty much it. Like,
and a lot of the times you do learn it on the job.
Yeah,
which is, and that did happen to me. I felt like I was doing more of that than actual design.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
it's so true. And also I would practice a lot of like self-teaching. If you're going to college, right? Mm-hmm. Especially for graphic design or anything art related.
Yeah.
Since you hit a good point that you're a graphic design, but they prefer you to have a little bit of After Effects experience or any of that,
Yeah.
It's weird because you go into college so you can have everything you need for a job, but at the same time you're gonna have to step out of your way and like be your own professor, like with YouTube and stuff like that, and learn stuff that doesn't even pertain to graphic design just to fit a job that you actually want.
Yeah. Like,
and it's crazy because the job that you actually want and are more likely to be like, oh, I want this to be my job, is the one that's going to require like more experience on other programs that you haven't even touched before.
Yeah. And it's like, well, how am I like my school didn't even teach me any of that. So how was I supposed to like college should be setting you up for like, this is, I guess, like they set you up for generally what you're going to expect. But again, a lot of the times what you expect is not at all what most companies will have you doing unless you're very lucky.
Yeah.
But like a couple of other soft skills that you kind of pick up when you're at a job is leadership, accountability, problem solving, teamwork. Obviously, like when you're at school, I mean, you can kind of learn a little bit of those, like time management. You either learn in college or you learn out after college.
Yeah.
But it's like, those are all like different situations. Like leadership, like when are there a lot of opportunities where you get to like lead something? It's if you have a group project, but most of the time you're doing like a solo project.
Yes.
And so like what leadership are you really doing?
That's the big point, because if in the workplace, basically everything is team based.
Yeah.
But when you're in college, everything is solo based.
Yeah.
Like you're the whole team.
Yeah. You do everything.
I think I can recall maybe twice where we did something as a class.
Yeah.
Or as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Yeah. There's a couple projects I had that were like, hey, you work in this group and collaborate with people. But I feel like, and this is kind of like my frustration because with schooling in general is because, high school is essentially supposed to prepare you and give you the essentials for college, and college is supposed to give you the necessities and tools for a future job.
Yeah.
But what high school doesn't really do well enough of is preparing you for, you're going to have some late nights where you're studying. Mm-hmm. You're going to have like long paper, like they have writing, but there's not like papers that you're going to actually do. Yeah. Like it doesn't, what you're going to expect in college is not like, school doesn't really, it kind of like babies you a little bit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't also really give you like the real world life experience. Like you got to get up, you also got to go to your job, and you got to like do this and you got to do that, and you have to have good time management, and because like personally, college, not my words, other people's words, who can bullshit the best? And you really don't have to try it all that hard in college. You really don't. You just gotta like do the bare minimum of like, you show up to class, kind of study, depending on the class. Obviously it can be harder or more difficult, and like you can kind of just bullshit your way through college. I mean, a lot of people party 2 to 3 years out of like their 4 years, and then they still graduate. So it's like
half-assing it.
Yeah. So it's really about just bullshitting. What are you doing over there?
Just fixing my foot.
Well, don't do that.
Okay, I won't do it again.
Like you just do the weirdest shit at the weirdest times.
I don't do that. I'm a failure.
I like your new hat though, by the way.
Thank you, bro.
But I guess to sum it all up, right? What would be some recommendations, or not recommendations, but like some things that we could, other things that we can kind of let people know about ahead of time? If like, hey, like this is what you're gonna do at a job, or this is what you're gonna do in college. It's kind of hard to really do the job thing when it's different all around.
I would say just keep it real. Like, keep it real.
Drop out.
That's hey, yo, yeah, keep it real. Like, if you want to drop out, just drop out. No, I'm saying, keep it real. Like, if you're going to college, just don't go there to do what you're there to do. Have an experience or whatever, and actually, go 100%. Learn what what you went there to learn. And also, what you said, like time management, shit that they don't teach you in college. Like, take it upon yourself to be like, okay, I got 3 projects, and actually focus on how can you manage to do this in that amount of time, which is completely hard. Yeah, it is hard to do, but it's gonna pay off when you actually go into the workplace. Yeah, and I'm not saying it because Justin was saying earlier,
pin it on me.
Who could bullshit the best? It's true, bro. Who could bullshit the best? Just don't be that person. Yeah. Just don't be the person to, how can I bullshit this? Nah, bro. Like, do it the way it's supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, because eventually, like, bullshitting through college, like, it'll get you. Bullshitting through college, you can do it. Like, it'll go through. You can probably get like a C+. You can, like, a good average GPA. Yeah. Like, you can probably get that. But, like, at the end of the day, it won't really serve you all that much of a purpose to really do that.
Yes, a diploma doesn't certify you to be something that you want to do.
Yeah. Also, one little tidbit. This is a hot take. Okay.
Ooh, hot take.
It's a hot take.
Hot take, baby.
You know what? We were only supposed to use these hot takes for, like, guests, but this is the one and only time that I have a hot take right now. So, I mean, if you ever have a hot take, you can throw it up at any point. But here's a hot take. When our parents were growing up, and even before our parents were growing up, a bachelor's degree was what a master's degree is worth now. You want to explain on that?
Say that again. I had a brain fart.
A bachelor's degree right now is that of an associate's degree. I'm not saying they're the same, but
really,
yes. The only reason why I say that is because what a lot of people are looking for, they're looking for more, right? They're looking for more education. They're looking for more qualifications. Yeah, they have more higher expectations. So a bachelor's degree is very tough to get a job in.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
An associate's degree right now is like absolutely nothing. Yeah. Like, you are like wasting your time getting an associate's degree now. Yeah. A bachelor's degree back then in like the 80s, 70s, 50s was gold.
You're almost guaranteed to get something.
Guaranteed a job. Nowadays, if you have a bachelor's degree, it's iffy. Yeah. A master's is probably along the lines of where a bachelor's degree used to be. Yeah. And so, like, a master's, you're pretty much guaranteed, like, I say guaranteed in air quotes, but you're pretty much guaranteed a job. But not only do you have to go 4 years for schooling, but then you have to go for additional schooling to get that master's, right? Yep. I don't know. I don't ever plan to go get a master's. Waste of money and waste of time and waste of my resources when I can just learn everything I need to learn from my trade online for free. Yeah,
and give or take. 100% right. And when it comes to, like, graphic design and the arts, like, consider yourself a master, right? With a master's degree, with a bachelor's degree. So what I mean by that is, like, don't let your degree define who you are. Yeah. So, you have a bachelor's, then I should be able to do this. No, just don't limit yourself to that. Just more of like, I know everything. I just happen to have a bachelor's degree. Yeah. Be that person. I know everything. Like, be a doctor with a bachelor's degree. Yeah. Don't like, you're always going to be a doctor, but with a diploma. Well, just strive for that. I'm not saying that's what you are, but strive to be that person that I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor on this, but I just happen to have a bachelor's. So always keep learning. Always strive to be the best that you can be. Yeah. Like, because a lot of people, it's like a lot of people let themselves be defined by the diploma that they got. Mm-hmm. And then they also stop. Yeah.
They also define themselves by the school that they went to.
Yeah.
Which is,
it's bullshit.
It's a whole. Yes. I have to go on this tangent. We're gonna go a little bit longer than we want to, but I'm just gonna say this right now. When you are 40 or 50 or 60, get real close with me right now. Okay. Because this shit pisses me off. Right here. Okay. Get real close. No one gives a flying fuck what college you went to. Just saying.
I know Harvard.
I want to get Harvard. Congratulations, you went to Harvard. You paid an excessive amount of money just to go to school for a premium education that should be accessible for pretty much everybody. Congratulations. No one cares that you went to Notre Dame. No one cares that you went to Penn State. No one cares. Yeah. When you get to that age, your college, the name of your college is so irrelevant.
It's like they're trying to relive past glories.
Yeah, and like parents. Yeah. Like parents, like who want their kids to go to school, they want their kids to go to the same college or blah blah blah. It's like, bro, it's the same equivalent as like buying a Mercedes, a BMW, or an Audi. It's a fucking car. Yeah, it's a fucking school. Yeah. Yes, the education is going to be a little different depending on where you go. Your school does not define you as a person. Yeah. It's bullshit.
That's big fact.
It's just a name. Like if you take the name off of Nike or Adidas, it's no longer Adidas. It's just some random.
You're branding
shoe.
Yourself. Yes. With a school, and I guess it's part of the culture. It's part of the experience. You're proud to be. I get it, but it's not the best thing that's gonna happen in your life. Maybe it is. I don't know. And you know what I mean? Maybe it is. Some people look back and it's like that, and that's the best time I've had, and then they don't let go.
People will like. I see like. Our parents' age, and people just like flaunting their college, and that's great that you went to that school, and I'm glad that you had a good time, but it does not matter. Did you get good education? That's all that matters. Yeah. It doesn't matter about the brand that you went to attend. It doesn't matter about that. Yeah. I could give two shits that you went to Harvard. Yeah. You're smart. Congratulations. There's a lot of smart people. You're probably a smart person working for somebody else. Did you ever hear the saying, the D students or the A students work for the B students, the B student or something like that? Have you ever heard that saying? I've heard that. The C students own the businesses. Yeah. It's like if you're spending a lot of your time in high school not socializing, connecting with people, studying, like if you're studying predominantly and that's all that you're doing and not really like spending with other people and sports and curricular activities, you really have to evaluate what you did with your time, like, because all that shit is cool. Studying is cool, but grades do not fucking matter. No, grades don't matter to the degree that you think they do. It's good to pay attention. Yeah. It's good to like learn and be educated. Yeah. Because and I say this because as a kid growing in high school, I didn't care about education. I really didn't care. But now I appreciate the like education and knowledge. But I can guarantee you, the education and knowledge that I'm appreciative of is not what they were teaching in high school. Yeah. Is not what they were teaching in college. It's like I can go out and I can apply myself and learn what I need to learn on my own free will. But like I wasn't really getting any of that. So the enjoyment for education, I wasn't getting that from either side, high school or college. So again, I reiterate, don't be one of those people that that's assumes like getting good grades is the end all. Why?
No, I'm just concentrating on what you're saying.
The end all be all. It's not about the grades. It's about the effort and the time management and the social skills that you're learning, the soft skills that you're learning, the interactions that you have.
To be present,
and to be present, and the people that you know.
Yeah, because I always go back to this. You don't identify yourself with your grades, like. And it's funny because we've been
people were brainwashed with this shit, bro. I'm sorry.
We've been taught that. We've been taught that our whole lives, ever since kindergarten. You know, it's like we seek the approval of the teacher. We seek which is good, right? Yeah. But then what if when we do have the approval of the teacher, we still have the feeling of like, okay, but I need the approval of something else. Like, you know, like I feel like if I had to give a last advice, it's like, don't seek an approval, you know, but more of like seek more knowledge in the field that you're in. Yeah. And eventually you're going to surpass everything.
You're going to surpass everything. Yeah. But you won't surpass. I don't know how to bring that.
You tried.
I tried. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the latest episode of the LeisureHub Podcast. We have been your hosts, Justin
and Pedro. It was glad to be back.
It's good to be back. It's good. It feels like a nice
back in black.
A nice little oomph. And it got a little heated at the end. At least for me, it got a little heated.
You got pissed off.
Oh man, I'm so angry. I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna buy a punching bag.
You know, I need to go. You know what? I'm gonna go party.
You gonna go party?
I'm gonna go party. But not at anyone that's giving me $50,000 to go party or $50 million to go party.
50 million.
50 mil. You're gonna go.
Hey,
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the latest episode of the LeisureHub Podcast. We will catch you on the next one. Stay knowledgeable. Stay quick on your feet. And remember, college is a scam.
Damn. Bro, you're going to leave them like that?
I'm going to leave it like that.
Damn, that's fucked up.
I like education.
Not always,
but
we got to stop. We got to keep talking forever and ever.
It's got to cut.
It's got to cut. See you guys. It's been real.
Mwah.
You're gay, dude.
Mwah. I love you. I love you all.
That's it?
Huh?
That's it?
What do you mean?
That's it?
No.
58 minutes?